Hello folks, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Joel Duggan. Cosmic Dancer is in the chat. You made me laugh, Cosmic. I was watching you talk back and forth with Jay Price. I've never seen anyone spell no with a bunch of U's. And it made it sound sillier in my head, which made me laugh. We're listening to some royalty-free music from Harris Heller, Stream Beats. I have Apple Music, so I have access to this without commercials, so I thought I'd throw it on. Let me know if it's too loud. I've not listened to all the tracks. I've got it on shuffle, so we'll figure out what's going on. It might be a little bit loud for me, but if I turn it down, then it won't be audible at all for you. But we'll have to see. Between the music and the machinery in the factory, it might drown me out, but I'll leave it up to you to let me know what's going on. So we're back on Update 5. We have not been playing an experimental at all. I'm very tempted, but I'm going to wait until next week. So the two things that we have yet to do are sort out the second floors of these blenders, and I have to remove the power facility way over on the north coast. Not the most exciting thing, so I might wait until we get stuck here. But I did a little bit last night after we finished streaming here. Oh, I missed the tube. You thought it was from the game? It is pretty good. Yeah, I like it better than that other Pixel Rocks one that I was listening to. I'm hoping it can just kind of blend in the background. I don't want to be distracted by it. I do find the tracks very short. So, I added a ceiling. You can't really tell, but it's at least got a bit of an angle to it. And then I also added a back wall through here and added some purple lights. Now it looks silly in here, but from the outside, it looks pretty cool because then all the diamond shapes kind of glow purple. So I don't know if we're keeping this. I just kind of wanted to spitball around. No, you don't slide underneath it. I just came in from the wrong way. I forgot that I had the gap. I forgot we raised the floor. So I added in all the lights. I messed around with this kind of stuff. I'm debating as to whether we need or want to keep the glass. We might not even need the glass. We could just have the pipes be raw. Because I do find it's a pain in the butt to get in and out of here now. And I also thought down the end here, it'll be smart to leave a space here to have all of the power and electronics for each side. And look at this. We even have room up here for like a hidden walkway. So it'll make this really easy. And you can't see it really from in here. It just looks like it adds detail. You know, it just looks like a mirror image of that almost. So yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the shiny floor. I thought it might be because my graphics settings are lower in the game. See, I feel like I'm shouting because the music is loud in my ear. If we go to options, video, shadow quality, post-processing, foliage light. I don't know what I need to do to turn on like reflections and stuff. I was watching its bits earlier and they had reflections and stuff. But I'm not really sure. So we have yet to do this side. This side is still empty. But really I think the thing to do is going to be to complete the outer circle and then guess how we're going to connect everything, because I've changed plans a couple times. I'm not sure how things are going to go. Music can go down a touch if it makes you feel like you're shouting. Okay, cool. So I've got some wiggle room then. I didn't like pre-test the iTunes volume, and iTunes doesn't give you a percentage, which is annoying. Try it at that volume. So yes, we're gonna go upstairs. So the inside circle we did, but the outside circle we have not not completed, and that's going to mean turning off a couple of these generators. So that's going to come around to here. So I'll say we'll take out 4 of these guys. I'm going to try to take out as much not needed stuff as I can. Especially if it's concrete. I mean, really I could shut this whole thing down, but in case I need fluid flowing, that's probably good to leave it going for now. And is that there? I should probably put in the second floor, but before I do this, huh? Probably smart. Right, so that's that there. Then this is going to go this way. The music is a bit distracting. I can reduce it further. I always find it frustrating when audio players just don't give you, like, you can slide the slider, but then nothing actually happens. You know, it's like, I just moved that by a good chunk, and yet nothing is happening. Alright, so that is... I'm sure that's the middle. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. Yeah, I want a percentage on my volume too. Most of the time for stream background music, like the music that I play all the time in the background of Minecraft, the player for that is playing at 15%. Like, it's very, very quiet. And still comes through just fine, you know, for the break music. I find so many applications on computers these days just, like, ridiculously loud. Feels weird deleting stuff. We've been doing so much building. I will leave that. And I'm going to leave the middle part here too. Think of all the free stuff I'm getting back. That's true. That's very true. So this is still the middle, obviously. That's why it's still red. So I can bring these along here. And then, where was I building that circle? It's on this level. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to move this then. Well, that's the 45-degree one. I wanted the... And yep, so that's what I'm building down on. So we'd have to do... Yep, need to delete these. I'm going to try to do this a different way. I'm going to try to use the tower. I think it might give us a better advantage point. And I guess I'll put that here. Could build an entire factory with all the free stuff I'm getting back? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so I have to go... Oh, this is going to be hard to see from up here. Yeah. I'm trying really hard not to lose this middle piece so I don't have to recount it, you know? Can just see what's going on over there. What's this? Oh, I don't need these in here. That can come later. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the max for one zoop. So that's good, at least I don't have to see what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. So over time you kind of improve the way to do this. And I have obviously did it the long way the first time. This is supposed to be synthwave. Why am I getting like weird light synth rock? Is it a specific playlist I chose? Yes, this is the synthwave playlist. I'm glad it fits the playlist, or fits the game. So the bigger the circle that you make, the slower it goes, because you have a lot more to delete in between. So I'm gonna place one there, and then I'll use the extension just to kind of save me from going out. Oh, come on. Did that work? That did not work. It's gonna be really tricky with this here. No, that's what I was standing on. Having the last little bit here helps, because then you can see right where you left off. I feel like there's some songs that I've heard on TikTok that are very similar to this kind of stuff. Jay Price, still lurking, but I had to jump in and say, wow, Satisfactory is so different than the last time I caught a stream. Love that you can do angles now, and your factory looks incredible. Thanks so much, Jay Price. You should check out the trailers and stuff for Update 6, or any kind of content from a content creator that's showcasing Update 6 stuff, because the Update 6 stuff is really cool. The environment that they've changed, and also the new, there's half foundation pieces now. What I should do is make these the different foundations so I can see them. Just for now. I do find the Z fighting really hard on the eyes. Thankfully, we won't have to see much of it. Cool. Yeah, there's another dev stream from Coffee Stain tomorrow, I think. Be curious to see what they have to say. So that took, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, and that was a quarter of the circle. We're doing okay. Oh, I forgot to do the zoop change. So it looks like the fastest way to do this is to just delete this one here. You immediately can see where you left off, but you'll only get 10. If you want more than that, then you have to go out and extend farther from the edge. I don't know what the maximum, or I'm not sure which radius is the best for the edges touching. It's probably 12. We can always test it. I'm so glad that they added pick block to this game, or item selector, whatever they call it. Pick block in Minecraft. I think that's just a square one. Yep. Sounds like a forced science moment to me. Yep. All right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 from... No, wait a minute. It's 10 from your middle block. 11 is the middle. That was 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that's 10 from the middle. I'm guessing that it's either 11 or 12, because they're getting really close, right? They're overlapping, but on the edge here, they're pretty tight. So that's 11. Oh, there's a big difference with 12. 12, there's going to be a big gap. Yeah. So 11, it looks like, as a radius. You can still cover that with like a beam or something, but it looks like 11 is like super tight. So that's good to know. 12 in total, 11 counting from the center block, not including the center. So that would mean that if you're going to do things like walls, they would probably connect and look pretty good, right? Yeah, like that's pretty tight. But then walls on the inside here, they do have an overlap. I wonder if I should extend this. Oh, well, extending it is not going to be a problem. Extending it by 1 is easy. So we may end up doing that. It's hypnotizing? That's one way to put it. Z fighting for me is hard on the eyeballs. You can see where being a little bit higher might help. Actually, now that we're around the circle and there's nothing in front of us, we could probably go higher. That Z fighting is very similar to the screen flicker issue that I deal with. I guess the only thing is that if you go too high, then your zoop won't reach. Not saying it's hard on the eyeballs too, but it's also kind of hypnotic. Oh, I see. It's kind of both. Yeah, I can see that. It reminds me of those optical illusion things, like that. Those things that you look at a black and white pattern on the screen, and then when you look away, it looks like the world is spinning, or you can see like color changes, like stuff like that. They're not. I guess they're not optical illusions. They're optical manipulations, maybe. I'm so glad I looked up a bunch of this stuff. There's some ones that, circles and arcs, I looked up about how to build roads. Man, does it ever make your roads look nice and tight. Looking forward to doing some of that. I messed up on that last one, because that's in the way. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of people. Zero and Fluxo and Stin Archie and there's still some stuff that I can see how they've done it. Like I can see the parts that they've used, I can see the methods, but like I don't know how they plan it. That's where my brain just doesn't like. How do you? Don't know how they plan these crazy big factory builds. So we have an inner circle, and I think now we have an outer circle. Yep. So the next question is, see here, I don't know how deep I want to start to build these. So I needed to know where this was going to come up. And this, something here looks wrong. Oh crap, that's at the wrong angle. Oh, come on. Just land on the telephone pole. There we go. So they're pretty easy to fix if you mess up. So this one here just snapped to that block there, but what we wanted it to do is snap here. I hate when I do that. Customizer, materials, 1. I'm just doing this so we can see what's going on. Interesting how these ones don't fight. It's like it's got a different depth, I guess because of the depth on the edge of it. It's kind of cool. You could create like, you could have different textures just by putting concrete over the metal. I didn't realize that. And then to build it up, it's not a big deal. You just grab your guys and go vertical with them. So right away, you can see that my spitball idea of where this was going to intersect doesn't work. And we don't have to have this be a solid circle. We could absolutely just have it be a couple of arcs. Like, it doesn't have to be circular. But what I want to know is where to start putting the fuel generators. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to want to have some sort of distance. If this is like an outer wall, and these fuel gens are going to be outside, I'm probably going to want to have some distance between the first fuel gen and this particular wall. So that's what I'm thinking that this is going to be. This needs to move, I think. Which means that these are going to be longer. These arms are going to stick out farther. Just remove the floor from underneath you, yeah. You mentioned for a 1.0 release that you might start from scratch. Would you go with another factory-based design shape language from a transformer? The transformer stuff is fun and it's nostalgic for me. I would probably stick with it. The one thing that I think I would change with a new playthrough for I think probably performance, as well as just the knowing how the game works now and knowing how complicated things get and how much space you need. I think what I would want is like multiple factories. I think, and to that effect, having multiple factories to design means that I could choose all kinds of different transformers. Maybe we have one side of the map be Decepticon and the other side of the map be Autobot. You know, like we could do all kinds of really cool stuff. Rather than just having like one theme throughout the whole thing. I'm looking forward to deleting some of my initial measurements and initial counts as well. That'll open this up and make it feel a little bit less like a construction zone. And I guess maybe we had to take the time to think about like whether we do want to have this be one foundation farther out because of how perfect that everything connected, right? But that's pretty cool looking. Yeah, one side of the map be Autobots and Decepticons. Or put the Decepticons in the middle or something. I don't know. All right, where is the new level? I guess I shouldn't have deleted that. Where was this? Oh, there it is there, right? That's forward 6 meters above. So 6, that would mean that this is the platform height. Right. So this is a corner piece here. This always feels weird, being way out over just the empty space. I always feel a lot better. Just like in Minecraft, you always feel a lot better when you've got something underneath you. Like more than just one foundation, when you've got like 6 or 8 or whatever. Giving yourself a theme like Transformers in terms of directions of builds. Yeah, no, it helps when you're trying to come up with different stuff. I think that's right. Yep. I always get impatient when I'm trying to reach and delete things. I always think like I can reach a lot farther than I can. Getting a lot of frame setters today too. Don't know why. Oh crap. No, that's fine. As long as I don't delete the whole ring, we should be fine. Right, these are on an angle. So that would have been the right one. Legomolas, hello, welcome in. that should get to there. Okay. So like I said, the question is where, when we're building these platforms, if this ends up being an outside wall, where do we want to start the, oh, what are they called? Fuel generators. So all I'm thinking is that there's probably going to be some sort of door here, right? Like we'd probably want to have some sort of thing along here. So if you had your fuel gen, and they would be in this kind of a space, not perfectly like this, but something similar. I feel like we'd want to have some space here, right? Like maybe even give ourselves enough to add like that extra wall. Because like if we start doing walls here, and if I start painting walls different colors, then we get stripes, right? So I may want to avoid that and just give myself the extra bit. So if we come out here, and we put walls on this, and that's going to help with like everything, windows, all kinds of stuff. So I think maybe for this particular outside wall, it might be smart to go with a 12 diameter, or a radius rather. Like that looks potentially very slick, right? Oh, autosave. Do you have an idea or a plan on how you might use some new building materials here? I'm trying not to get too carried away with building materials with so many new things happening in the next week. I'm trying to think mostly about shape, and I'm going to worry about texture later. I need to look up to see if I can actually get some reflections and stuff going on, because it's going to make me decide between concrete and polished concrete. I think I'm putting most of the machines on concrete, but then I'm putting most of the pedways as reflective concrete, I think. So I think it would be smart to expand to the next diameter, and that's fine, because that just means that we have like a too wide or a too thick wall. Because in here, these would still cross over. They'd be close, but they'd be a little bit strange. Okay. So that's what we're looking at for an arc out here. Then how do we want to design the placement of the refineries? Because I'm thinking like I'm going to want some sort of cool structure thing. So there's the next level there, right? I don't want to go that high with this. I don't even know what not sure what this is. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's this go? So I've got 6. Kind of a clearance of 6. So this might be 5. Where's the middle? You're the middle there, so that might be a door. Kind of a cool door. So then how much space do I want between like this kind of thing and here? Do we have something underneath this? Oh yeah, we got lots. Okay. I was going to delete these two, and then I was wondering if these were the bottom of the circle, but they're not. Oh, wait a minute. This comes out at this level. What am I doing? We decided to cover these up. I think it's a flat thing. Hey, there's Rebel. I haven't seen you in a while. I think we were going to cover them up. I deleted the design. But yeah, that to me is still... That's pretty tight to the wall. I wouldn't want it this close. And thank you, Cosmic. Yes, it is time for the first break. So if you're new to the channel, I take a break once an hour. We have to go back and get some more concrete, I think. I'll check the train. Because we're out, basically. So yeah, that's not huge, but I would still like to have some sort of like enough space here to do like chunky columns. They might not stay this chunky, but I find that it's good to kind of like think about them in this way. Right, so we'd want this to be a little bit farther, giving us room to do some sort of like, let's put one there and then I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing something out there, but see, like you want that kind of depth so it looks like a cool sci-fi building. Okay. Been a crazy summer. I hear you. I've been very busy. Good busy, but very busy nonetheless. So we've got to see if we've got concrete in the train. We have some, but I would like to get more. So I will do that at the end of the break. Cool. If you're new, I take a break once an hour. It is that time. Make sure you give yourself a screen break and get your water refreshed, get a snack, whatever it is that you need. We'll be back in a little bit. I was trying in between streams to hook this up so that I could send this train around the whole network, but it's really, really difficult. Because I like the trains too. So we've got a manufacturer here, not a manufacturer, sorry, a couple of constructors here just toiling away, doing all kinds of concrete while we're working down the other area. Unlike in Minecraft, everything that's in the world keeps going, even when it's not in render distance, which is great. That's about all we can carry. That's fine. Need some more plates. But I'm pretty sure I have a whole cart full of plates. Yes. I run into problems with the train being too long. It runs into itself. That's why it keeps on going back and forth without turning around. But then the other problem is that I've got a combination of single and double lanes, and so this can't get to the other tracks, I don't think. See, like that signal is supposed to keep us on the right hand side, but it doesn't. I don't know why. It's probably unique just because this is a train that has locomotives on both ends. Jay Price, have a good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I love that it vents that breaks after you get off. It's so cool. So you can start to see, we're going to pop up and take a look to see if we can see the circle and see where things are making sense as this thing is starting to come together. So you can see that would probably be like the outer shell along there. And then this would be coming out from that. But I'd want there to be room for this to go thinner in between. So this is going to slope up and then it's going to go thinner as it goes higher. So we've got probably more circles to make in the long run. But yeah, ultimately I think we might have to extend this by a few blocks in either direction. I still don't know where I'm going to put the permanent hypertubes. Oh, this is going to go up to nothing. Oh, that's not bad. So the important thing to remember up here is that that is going to be, I think, the other level. So it's about, what did I say, 4? So really what I'm looking at is like, do I like the distance here? Why? Why do you keep on going the wrong direction? So does that give us enough room to then pull this back and go a little bit thinner? I think it probably does. Especially if we use ramps. You know, those are looking like they're pretty sharp. Did we expand? Yeah, we did. Okay. And then I'm not sure what we would do here, but maybe we'll just try more of these. Thinking eventually we're going to get into a spot where we're going to want to put some sort of support, kind of like coming up and going in to whatever this is. And then maybe there's a smaller circle in here. I think that could work. We'll have to come up with a nice pattern. The cool thing about this is that we could change this material to asphalt, and you'd never be able to see, especially from a distance. Looks pretty solid. And this is the middle here. So same idea, we'd have to be mindful of where we would start the fuel gens on this floor, because we'd want to leave room for this. I was originally thinking that these were going to be stacked right on top of each other, but I realized that by running fuel gens all the way into the middle, where the triangle happens, so like back here, where this space happens, we lose so much space so quickly that then these fuel gens end up being like underneath this, and I kind of wanted all the smokestacks to be clear, you know? So we had to come out at least this far. And then giving us again another couple of foundations for decoration seems to be fine. Some of it is pretty, like, is, you know, a concept that I had before I started building, and other things here, Cosmic, are things that I've had to kind of like adjust as I go. The difficult thing is getting far enough back to really see it. I think that's chunky enough. I think that's fine. I don't think that looks flimsy. I think we're good. So we do know that I have to add the extra layer, because this, if not mistaken, is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the extra one is 11. I guess I've been using white for walls. I should use white. Cool. Okay. I'm not going to delete this inner circle just yet either, because it's got some real potential to have like layers. Does get complicated with the snapping, that's for sure. This reminds me of Axel F from like Beverly Hills Cop. This is the first time I've ever built a circle in Satisfactory. I mean, not today, but like this project. I've not done anything that involves circles before. Nice. Cheesy 80s synthwave, yeah, totally. Am I dizzy yet? I'm a little sick of going in circles, yeah. A little bit. So each one of these I think needs a 3x3. And I think we're going to move this out. Nope. I do not have that on. Yeah, so I'd want at least this much space, probably 2. So then this would be where the fuel gen would actually go. I think that's centered. Off by 1. Ah, frustrating. Why? I wish there was a way to snap these a certain way. So this goes there. 3, 4. So it's 2 in from the side. Save lag. I can't imagine what BL Andrew has to deal with, like a 5-minute save or something. What I should do is just put down a pipe fitting so that I can snap to this. So I can at least see what I'm doing. And it's not showing the snap. Solid. Oh, there it is. One, 2. No. This should be a lot easier. This is one of the beefs I have with the game. Alright, that's centered. So that gives us at least 2 foundations of width to play with or use as a path. And then this stuff would be here. And I didn't have these right next to each other. I had them kind of off center by a little bit. There was enough room in between. If we wanted to, we could run paths, I think. We just have to center it. Yeah, Dan Grace, his file is really big. Yeah, he's got like, I think that's when he takes his breaks. It's like once an hour the autosave comes up and he's just like, all right. Throws up a 6-minute timer or something like that. I don't think he leaves. I think he like hangs out with chat and like talks while we're there. He always streams so late. I always have to go whenever I raid him. I can't usually stay very long. Alright, I think that's a decent amount of space. So what do? We went from the white, we went 1, 2, 3. So from the white, 1, 2, 3. I think that'll work. Because this is, here's the middle here, and you can see we're going to have another spoke going off that way, because that is the center line. So that means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can think about this as like the corner. Oh, why is that only 3? Something's wrong there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's wrong. Yeah, that's off by a block. That means all of this is wrong too. Crap. Glad I noticed that. I mean, I probably would have spotted it eventually. I always double check before I start putting machines in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be the right one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this should be dead center here. Yep. Okay. Good. Yeah, that comes in quite close. We might have to fix that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we might have to change the angle on that. you ever install any Satisfactory mods to help with quality of life in Satisfactory? Are there any things that you might use? No, I've been keeping with the vanilla game only because I find that, I mean, the vanilla game's already kind of unstable. So I feel like, because I get a couple of crashes sometimes before I can stream. Like sometimes I'm late streaming by 5 or 10 minutes because the game just keeps on booting and crashing. But I've not tried it. I don't know enough about the mods. I don't do any, like the ones that I see people using are the ones that are like content creators, like for YouTube, where like they want it to stay sunny or stuff like that. The mighty Elkhorn is lurking in the background. Good to see you, Elkhorn. So that's the basics of the second of these crosses, so it should be pretty straightforward. That is off for some reason. Why is that not looking right? Oh, because it's from the wrong block. Trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff I know I don't need. That wasn't that far. I can't tell. No, these are all square. I don't need any of these. The circle's up there, but I have some circle stuff down here too. Yeah, so none of this was really going to matter because our first floors are up a lot higher. Oh, I'll leave that just because we've got stuff on it. So what I was thinking is that I could pull this circle down and at some point we could have these pipes kind of go up through the circle and out the other way. I think that would be kind of fun. You need feather falling boots, apparently, yeah. But I don't know how much lower I want that. Because underneath, we could have a really cool sloped ceiling. And we've got at least 3 foundations before we start the machines. So that would put those out farther. They'd still be inside the circle though. Well inside the circle. A voice from over my shoulder, Mr. Cosmic, just pointed to my screen and said, I have no idea what's happening, but that looks cool. That's awesome. What was he pointing at? The circle in the pipes? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the X won't be there. Let me just see if I can find the inspirational image that I have for this. I've got it somewhere. Yeah. So if I change maybe... Actually, I can just open this up in a browser. Hold on. That would be the easiest thing to do. I always forget that you can open up images in browsers. I don't know why. So this is like an image of Cybertron that I found. It's a concept art or a rendering image from the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron Transformers games. And I just like the double circle at the top. They've got other things going on, but I would imagine something very cool with like a lot of light and then having my pipes kind of can go up in the side. I don't think I have the space to do something at this scale quite the same. But it's a really cool idea, and you can see like the floating consoles and like some of the cool stuff that would be around. I just like the paneling and the detailing, so it gives me an idea about how I want to detail the inside of the thing. This could have been like a multiplayer map. I really don't remember, but for me it was the concentric circle. It's the big circle and then the little circle, and that you can see there's a dip, like there's a topographical change here. This is higher than this, like that kind of thing. So that's kind of what got me down this avenue. I think that's the upper circle, and then we'd make another one down here that's smaller, maybe? I don't know. Because if you go down the bottom here... Like, I don't want it to get too much smaller than that, right? The good news is we've already placed that circle, so expanding it and contracting it is easy. It's not nearly as much work as making it go in the beginning. But I like the idea of the pipes going at least that far, and then from here they would travel straight vertical and then turn around and go the other way. And then we can maybe light them up somehow. So the other concern that I have is like whether or not this blender floor will work the same way that the one below it does. I might have to drop this down again. I think we've got enough room to do all the things I need. I don't think I need 3 foundations here. But they can go with just the 1 or the 2. Because underneath this other floor that we completed on stream yesterday, Yeah, there's only not even 2. And I've got plenty of room. And I can raise it if I needed to. So, yeah, that second floor I think is not going to be quite as thick. If I do that, do the blenders fit, I wonder? Nice. I'm glad I captured the pink energon look. That's great. I always like when I use stuff for like reference or inspiration, and then it actually like it hits the mark. You know, people are like, oh, that looks like energon. Yes, good. Job well done. So if we lowered this back down a bit, I'm just wondering if it's going to be a better fit for the blenders. Oh, I don't have enough aluminum casings. Let's just remove you. I think they're still going to go through the roof. Oh no. I think that might be tighter than downstairs. Yeah, quite a bit tighter. That's right. Sometimes there are mistakes made that you just don't really feel like making everything exactly symmetrical. Wait a minute, how much space do I have here? I could probably give them more room. The edge of the building has to be low, but the middle could go up. Doesn't have to be a big box. Oh yeah, the banging your face against the glass is funny. I agree. Yeah, like this doesn't have to be a box. We could taper the edges down here. Because I don't think there's anything going on. Yeah, this is... Yeah, the one that follows this side is way up there. This goes out that way, and this goes out that way. So we're good. We can create our own ceiling here. We don't have to use this level ceiling. We could make it be exactly the same as the floors below. So it had like 2 foundations. What was that? So that's the floor, which was raised by 2. Yeah, the machines are on that floor below. So that's only the 2 foundations there. So 1, 2. And then we have the half floor. Yeah, 1, 2, and then we've got a half floor thing. And that's fine because that means that these guys just sit lower. But then underneath this, is this the ceiling? Yeah, that's the ceiling. Okay, so that has to stay there. That's enough room, I think. I mean, alternatively, we could raise them up and just put them here. Oh, I can't build two. Two, three. So then from this level, how many meters? This is, I wish we had like a measuring tool, and I wish we had a like a vertical coordinate, an elevation indicator. I think that would be incredibly helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Two, 3, 4, and 2. Yeah, we can totally just go up from there. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong thing. This would have to be up. That's the machine level. So we'd be up here. Still loads of room, I think. And that would help us with the circle, because then if this is cut back and is higher, whoops. So that means we're going to get a better view of the circle, I think, from down here. Yeah, so there's the other floor where we had it before. Then over here, we'd probably mesh it in with the circle so that you could really see what's going on. With this being such a big scale, does it feel overwhelming? The problem that I'm having, and I don't want to say anxiety, but like the worry that I have from a design perspective is I haven't really figured out the train station for coming in and out. I don't want trains to come in here and then have to like zigzag around this if I keep this. Like, I don't think I want trains going down the middle of the power plant. It doesn't matter. It just, you know, like I could easily run one down this way and one down that way. I could easily run them around the back. You know, I like the idea of the trains coming in and having this approach. Because how often are we going to walk in here? We're probably not, right? I just like the idea of the trains coming in here and going through the middle of this. But you know, I don't know what we could do about that. There's a little bit of room vertically. Not a lot. So we could like lower the trains into the floor maybe. Maybe they go underneath this. I don't know. The idea was that all the power was supposed to be coming in from these spokes, and I was going to have it look like the power was coming straight down this middle column. And then, like, I don't know, imaginary underground cables were taking it elsewhere. in the game, functionally, it's going to be the train tracks that are taking the power out, right? I'd love to do something flashy with the hypertubes as well. Yeah, I think we can. I think we're okay to maintain that height. How much space do we actually have down here? Yeah, the trains coming in look cool. I guess I want to put them on the bottom floor. Because all this right here to my left here, this is going to look exactly like this. Right? That's what that's going to be, is something at the end. There's just going to be there's 8 of these here in these spaces. So there's still an awful lot of work to do. We're not going to have this done by the time update 6 arrives, but we've got enough temporary power going on outside that we can remove the old power station. I'd like to bring a train out to the new power station, or to the old power station, but it's just going to end up being deleted. That might be something we have to do this week, is just run a temporary train out there, fill the train up with all the materials, bring it back. I guess if there's going to be a giant hole here, having a giant pillar in the middle might not be exactly what I'm looking for, too. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Cosmic. It is indeed time for break. Because I like this bridge, but I guess like at about here, we'd have to dive down, or sooner. Like that's the entrance, so we'd have to get the trains low pretty quickly. So I guess there are an awful lot of straight bridges in this game. Maybe having a bridge that kind of ramps down would be more interesting. I don't know. I don't know what the height of this is going to be either. It might not be this high. It might be a lower thing along here. I guess the idea is that I wanted to go over that, this little arc thing. Once again, if you are new to the channel, I take a break once an hour, and you get to ride the train. I'll be right back. Signaling problem. Oh, because we're on the wrong thing. Cool. Be right back. Oh, I think I forgot to hide the UI on that brake. Whoops. My bad. At least we're on the right side of the track. I'm weirdly looking forward to completing like a final rail system and having it all work correctly. It could be kind of fun. Switch intersection path, DA. I'll have to try that. I kind of wish the brakes were like jet brakes, like it would like light a fire on top of it shooting in the other direction. I have some really cool ideas for train towers. I'm going to leave it under wraps for now, but I definitely have some thoughts. How have people been finding the music in terms of quality and all that kind of stuff? Has it been too repetitive? I haven't noticed too much. I think we've heard this track before, but I don't know. Sounds like it's from the game. Cool. That works. So I guess the thing to do now is to double check that we are going to be able to work all the logistics under the floor here and have it do what we want. So for that, we're going to need to know where the pipes are coming up. And that will involve these empty spaces here. That's where the pipes are coming up. So if we look at the other pipes, I think they're just one in from the corner. Yeah, so one in there. I guess first I should make sure that these are 1 meter foundations. No, they're not. I should make these glass for now, just so I can see what I'm doing. I guess I do that and then I can't, right, I can't see the markings. Good, well I'm glad I tried it. I mean it's the royalty-free stuff from Harris Heller. That's the playlist, but I usually have a problem with these things being either one, repetitive, or two, only available on Spotify, and then I don't pay for Spotify, so I get ads. But I've got I do have Apple Music on a free trial until the end of October. So the tricky part about this is going to be trying to figure out how to get the pipes into here from down here. This is going to be a mess. I think this is one of those things where we're just going to have to try to make it as neat as we can, but ultimately it's not going to be something we can control. I'm going to want to go up and down a lot. I wonder if it's probably too steep for a cable. This might not be. Oh, I don't have it on me. Okay. Next time. You just built it as a mess, put a cover over the top of it, and didn't... Yeah, won't think about it again? Exactly. So we want these to appear like they're going into the wall intentionally. And the other side, what I did was I had one go into the corner. And then had the other two go off in square directions. And that's not to say we couldn't turn this into an angled, like this doesn't have to be a triangle. It could be a three-sided tube. So the ones in the middle are the purple. And this comes off first and it comes into the corner here. So we would be using this wall as... Yeah, this section here would be an inside bit to get everything over and coming in here. That is straight in the quarter of that wall. So the first one would come out there. And that is too close to all of that. So we'll have to change its direction right away. Does this have to be here? Guess that could be flat like that. A lot of fine tuning left to do. But in order for these to have the right amount of distance, they have to be, so the first pipe has to be at least that distance away. If I put a pipe down the middle, I don't think this is far enough away for this to work. Oh, it is. Okay, so that's one. And the other pipe would be here, but taller. think that's going to be nice and clean. So one of these would be water. Oh, that's not quite as nice as I want it to be. But I think that was the issue that we were going to run into regardless. If we put this too high, I think it has the other problem. Yeah, it does a dip. We don't want that. And that's just not aesthetics, that's actually a flow problem. Joe HXRT. I don't know how to say that last part, but welcome in. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. And you get a sub. 2 months. Very cool. Thank you. I do feel bad because at a certain point, like, we've grown the channel to the point where it's sustaining me, but I'm starting to, like, not know every name that's in the chat that has a sub. It's a good problem to have, but I like knowing people, you know? At least make that effort. Alright, so how can we get this so that it looks right? If we did it at the same level, I imagine it would just be a problem. Trying to get this to go up is going to be the real issue. We're probably going to end up with a bunch of valves and stuff in here that I don't want to worry about. Getting these into this position is not a big deal because the this middle pipe, we could do one of two things. We could actually make this an angle. I don't know how far away we have to be. I'd have to do math. Or I could just guess and get it right the first time. Get the height wrong. That's fine. Is this like a half floor? Yeah, it is. But this is the ceiling below, so we can't mess with that. So if this was lower, we could still do it. It would just look really ugly on this side. But it might be worth doing if we wanted to have these like in the center vertically. Or I guess that's not the center, is it? Yeah, that's annoying. We would obviously have that curve the other way. I wish we could do half walls. I don't know if they added half walls, but I do wish that they would do that. So we've got plenty of room to have them side by side, which is great. And this one we would just send to the other floor. So this would go to the blenders that'll go up there. This will just look a little bit silly inside, but that's nothing we can do about that. You have 164 subs on your channel that you own, plus your own Patreons. That's true. TCC patrons and then Spawn Chunks patrons. It's a lot of people to remember. Well, I think one of the things that with people with Mindshare for me is like when I know it's someone from multiple different places, like if they're in the Spawn Chunks Discord, if they're in my Discord, plus they're a regular here on Twitch, I'm probably going to remember names and stuff. I will definitely get details mixed up, but I certainly do my best to remember like unique handles and stuff. Right, so that could go there. If this is the wall, then the sign stuff that we're going to do will be a lot easier because they're going to go, we have one sign, right? Go right behind the whole thing. And that covers almost all of it, so we could cut down, rather than doing like 2 or 3 signs, we could just do 1 up the back. Or we could change them vertically, but either way, I do like that. So then we just have to make sure that logistically we can do the things I need to do in here. So what would be the best way? I wonder if instead of relying on these being on the ground, if we take this and maybe use our platforms to get just a little bit of a height difference. I wonder if this would help. That still has the dip. So what if we just use this to get higher? Yeah, it still does it. I mean, it's not as bad as it was before, because this is a different height than if we did this. Right? It's just a hair higher. I don't care about the supports. I'm more interested in just having the pipe network be as flat as possible, so that there's not as much return flow. And having a long pipe like this going up into the machine would allow us to put a valve here. Very easy. Whereas here, we're probably going to have to put the valves vertical, like this. I would love to have these all be symmetrical, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Beams are going to be the same height. What about putting one of these guys down? If it slants, I'd rather it slant towards the machine than away. But that's... We're down to like a couple of centimeters here. I can't think of anything that would be a height difference between that. Everything's going to be roughly the same. It's kind of like how you tidy up. Yeah. I have a very clean living space, but I have very messy storage rooms. I'm not sure what that says about me, but my tidiness does not extend to places I don't see on a regular basis. That's a project for this fall and winter, is getting rid of a lot of stuff in my storage room. Yeah, I think I prefer the taller of the two. I think I prefer the... If it's going to slant a little bit, I think I'd rather it slant just that tiny bit towards the machine so that we can put the valve kind of like in that space. It's annoying that these pipe things create such a big bend, like you can't just do a tight turn with them. I mean, I guess the other thing we could do, we could try to do a super tight turn here. So like, that's there. So 1, 2. Yeah, see, this thing pushes out so far. It's really problematic. Well, we could get it to there, and then we wouldn't have to worry about all this ruckus. And then we could just line this up here. I'd say that's probably the best bet. That to me feels the nicest. There's so much trial and error in this game. Okay, so what do we've got here? We've got... This is... purple. I think I'm going to return these to red later, but for now I think I want to make sure I know what's what. And then blue. They're certainly going to stay colored underneath the floor, so I know what's going on. Okay, so I know that this will work. I will hook up one side just to make sure. I would say... yeah, purple first. So blue is going to be on the right. And then I guess for this, we're just going to go vertical right away with it. I think that's tidy. Now, how far... I think I'd want to put a valve kind of like somewhere where I can easily see it. So I would say we'd want the cross beam to be there. And then that puts it on. Let's just go here. One, two, three, four, five, six. Do you have the pipes color coded? Forget it's something that you did. Yep. Yeah. Purple is going to be heavy oil residue. Where's my signs? There's signs over here to show you. Yep. So heavy oil residue, 150 cubic meters, and water is 330 cubic meters. Sorry, 300 cubic meters. But each one of those water pipes, so there's two. This one goes to this facility, and then over here, that one there will go in the other side. So each side needs 300, but then the heavy oil residue, there's one pipe, and that's this guy right there, and we have to split him. So that's why I went over to check. So this actually is going to come in here, and it's going to go down this side. But before it does that, we're going to split it, and we're going to connect it to here. So same idea. We'll have 1, 2. So we'll just line this up. And we'll go to where we have more room. 1, 2. So middle of that foundation, that's pretty easy to remember. And then we'll just run that along the other way. So we'll have a split. Probably right where this needs to be. Probably going to be better for us to do this. Right? So then this pipe will go down the middle here. I didn't put this in at first because we're going to be wanting to walk back and forth through here. And I'd be constantly like scooting underneath it. But that'll go there. So let's just put like a temporary... That's why I wanted to go up high here first, right? So then, same idea here. We can just go down to where we have the extra support. And I'll make sure it's the right pipe speed and all that kind of stuff before we end up hooking it all up. I think after this junction it's basically 300 and 300, so it should be fine. And we did... I painted that wrong. Don't remember why that was there. Oh right, this is not needed. We want this coming down like this. Yeah, it's a lot neater than my first pass, and the ability to... I don't remember who it was. I think it was Sandy that suggested when you've got your 3 pipes coming up here in the corner, I think it was Sandy that suggested 1, 2 go this way, and then 3 goes that way. And then on this side, our water pipe on this side will come in from over here and just be the 1 pipe. And so it's a lot more manageable. And we're going to keep the same flow, so it'll be purple first, and then blue. And it should work out. Unless I put it too close, which I guess I did. Glad I checked. I'm going to try one more time just to make sure I didn't screw that up. Oh yeah, that's definitely too close. So why is that such a long... Huh. Strange. Can I go in? Oh, I could go in between. That's probably what it was. Guess it doesn't really matter. Now, how many steps was this away? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Could be doing this wrong. Yes, it was me. Hey, SweetSandi, how are you? I didn't see you come in. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like it's 8. Just trying to gauge the distance between those two pipes. Yeah. Now this was easy because this is 1, 2. Didn't really hook this one up, did I? Looking forward to being able to build without these indicators. I was really tempted to update this week to experimental. So why? Oh, because this is over too far. Maybe we should move this over here. It's less about it not working and more about me very easily being able to troubleshoot, as things will inevitably go very wrong. See, like here, what I'm thinking is, if I put the valve here, and I put the valve here, then if we come down to troubleshoot, like, it's very easy to just click that, and then click that, you know? Well, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know why these ended up looking so odd. I guess these are they're a full foundation width? Not quite. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, okay. So that's what it is. Could be just a little bit farther away. Sometimes this is just for my own personal enjoyment, and other times I just know when you come back down here to see what the heck is going wrong, you're going to really want to know like what is going in what direction. I don't know why I'm getting 2 indicators. That's strange. Autosave. Only have a few more days to wait. Yeah, I can see how it's tempting. Some of the newer parts do look really cool. Yeah, so like I feel like I don't want to do too much decorating. That's why I'm not decorating right now, because I feel like I'm just going to end up with stuff I could have used. Well, that's cool. I find it's kind of decent background for me. I don't find it distracting, which I think is what the intention was behind the people that made it. So over here somewhere is our tower thing. Here it is here. So that is going to be blue or water, and then will eventually be changed color. And then how did I do this nice tidy lift over here? I just went straight vertical as soon as I could and turned the corner. And I came out 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2. VSB Meza 3, welcome in. Thanks so much for the raid. How are you doing today, Meza? Let's back up. Let's show off the goods. Hope you're having a good day, Meza. Thanks so much for the raid. Appreciate you bringing over your peeps. Squirrel raid. 22 people. Thank you ever so much. What were you up to? I'm assuming Minecraft? I think I saw that you were streaming Minecraft before I started streaming today. Doing all right? How's the build going? Build's going well. I think I've got purple lights in here. Hold on. I'm going for Decepticon colors. I don't know why this is not working. I must have it unhooked somewhere. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we're playing around with some designs now. So for anybody wondering, my name is Joel Duggan, if you haven't figured that out. I play Minecraft Satisfactory, and I do live LEGO streams every Friday. And we're building Optimus Prime. And true to form, we're doing our designs here on Satisfactory after Transformers. In this particular build, we're doing Decepticons. So Megatron is the shape and colors and stuff that I'm going for with this particular build. So lots of angles, lots of points for kind of evil Decepticon stuff. But then the broader areas are going to have more of his chunky kind of design. And if I back up and show you guys the top, we did a lot of work earlier today. And so we've got refineries on the bottom floor, all feeding into the center. They are making heavy oil residue. We're pumping that up into the undercarriage of each of these blender floors. And then the fuel, the diluted fuel, is going up and out the top. And we'll take a look up top now. Building a bee farm in the nether. Oh, interesting. Why in the nether? Just convenience? Oh, right. This doesn't go anywhere. Whoops. So, once the fuel gets up to this top level, we've changed a little bit. We've added a circle. So we built a couple circles earlier today. They don't have a downtime in the nether, so there's no night per se. That is smart. How did I not know that? It's a good thing I don't do a podcast about Minecraft. Oh, wait. I do. There's a new one in the hopper. It'll be published in a couple of hours. Yeah, so you can see the fuel coming in. And it is going to power... Each wing is going to have 25 fuel generators. And there's going to be 16 of these wings. And they go in a giant X. And then they split and go in different directions. And you can kind of see what we're dealing with in terms of the scale. I'll jump in the hypertube here. Thanks so much, Meza. I really appreciate that. So all total, we're coming up on a very, very large build. You can see how many refineries are. All of the stuff outside of this box on the bottom, that's all temporary, just kind of keeping us sustained while we build the more powerful version. So this is short. There will be 25 of these. And then there's another one here. We need to move this up. They're going to be on the same level. I was tempted to do staggered, but it's just going to be too complicated. So this will be the level that the first rung is on. And so you'll see there's one going that way and then one going this way. And then the next level, we've rotated at 45 degrees. So the next arm is going to come straight over our heads and go completely 90 degrees that way and 90 degrees that way. And then the third floor will be back to an X, and then the top floor will be back to a plus sign. So it's a lot of fun. I missed the tube again. Was watching the first episode of the Halo show. The city depicted there is along the lines of my plans for Satisfactory. Very cool. I was showing off an image earlier. I found an image online. It was concept art from the Cybertron, War for Cybertron games. And I think I still have it up. Yeah. So something like this I think is kind of cool. Because we have this giant opening down the bottom. If I go down here, I still haven't figured out how I'm going to bring the trains in. I think we're going to bring trains in here. But this is kind of like the main entrance to the hall. So when you come in here, you're going to see backlit pipes going up in each corner, right? And then you look up and there'll be this big circle thing where the pipes won't go all the way there. I think they're going to stop about here, and then they're going to go vertical and go back the other way out to those. You can see it here. You can see the pipe. So instead of going all the way in here and up, it'll go in here and then up like right there. And that is going to kind of mirror like that circle design in the middle there. Trains always screw with my proportions. The stations are so obnoxious. Yeah, I'm not worried about a station being here. I just want to get the train tracks. And I can get an in train and an out train on one of these. And I've got some room here that I could do some really cool things by recessing the train. I don't want to take it down into the water, but we can go even farther. So there could be some fun there. Oh, autosave. The issue that I have with the trains right now is that I really like the elevated sky bridge that I have. So you can see in the distance, the temporary train bridge is right there. So the train currently comes across that bridge. You can see the tracks in the distance, and then it comes across this bridge in the middle. I like that height, but in order to get the trains down here, I'm gonna have to drop them. So it's not gonna be a nice bridge from the tracks to this building. It's gonna have some sort of down ramp, and I'm not thrilled about that. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe along the Gold Coast here, I don't put the train tracks that high. Maybe I lower the train like way back here and have it be nice and level. And then when it comes in here, it could be, you know, about this height. And then you're going to see the real scale of it as you travel underneath it will just be super cool. But again, thanks so much for the raid, Meza. Really appreciate it. You're at 3 hours. Yes. I'm probably going to keep going for another little bit, Cosmic. I don't have to cook tonight. I have leftovers, so it should be good. Should be pretty easy. I need to go up further. So we were trying to figure out a way to do the inside of these floors cleaner. So this particular design, this is how things are going to look for people walking around the factory. I'm debating not keeping the glass, just having it be open, but there's room for wiring, there's room for lighting, there's room for lighting up in here, which is cool. This has got kind of a shaped ceiling to it. We have the output pipe over there. It's in the middle of the floor. Here I put it at the very end. And so I'm going to do some sort of thing. This is kind of a temporary... I just want to make it look cool. So there's going to be some sort of thing. Probably have some vertical signs, you know, going up the side of it somehow. That could be kind of fun. And that goes to the next floor. And that's where we have to have these guys come out. And so that's going to be interesting. And that's why I think I have extra space up there. So first I wanted to make sure I could get everything in here, and it looks like we can. It's really not going to be that complicated. So I've got water coming in here. And that should attach to all of these. And then this one, is that in the right spot? No. And there's still lots of room for this to exit. That's the output. That's the fuel line. So we have, this is up here. Oh, that is crooked, I think. Yep, wow. Really crooked. What is... That is weird. Oh, I've made that wrong too. Okay. For someone that usually has a really good handle on perspective, I find this game does not really communicate to me visually when things are lining up. I mean, you get the little yellow or the little green arrows or green lines for sure, but like when you're just eyeballing something, I very often get it wrong. And then things don't snap when you expect them to snap. And oh, missing one of these. Right. So that's how that's going to work. That's plenty of room. We have the output here. I'll leave that as red just in case you end up seeing it from the outside. Just haven't hooked this up. Do you want to take a quick break? No, I think I'll finish up what we're doing here, Cosmic. Meza and crew came in close to the end, but I could just go a little bit longer and then wrap up and pass everybody along. If you want to probe around and see if there's anybody playing Satisfactory, we can raid. Oh, it's all good, Meza. That's all good. I wasn't ready to quite stop anyway, so it's a good excuse. I am keeping streams to roughly 3 to 3.5. During the week, otherwise I get too tired. But yeah, this is much tighter than what I had. Here, I'll give you guys an example. My first crack at this is what we ended up with, was this over here. Now, some of it was me just kind of like proof of concept on stream, but like this is what we've got in here, and it's okay, but there's a lot of really unnecessary junctions and weird stuff, and I had things in the wrong order, you know, and now over on the other side it's much nicer. So compare that to this over here, right? Like night and day. So good. And this is actually going to be connected here, so I don't forget. And that reminds me, these pipes need to be, can't remember, that's 300, and then it gets divided into 150, and then each pipe is 300. So the big division happens underneath the floor, I think. Really appreciate the toned down colors. Most people go super saturated with those looks. Oh, thanks. I mean, this is I think most of them are going to be like red or purple. I think a lot of the piping is going to be red in this build, just because Megatron, as I mentioned, he's got like little bits of red in him, but not much. So I feel like the red pipes are probably where I want to go. Maybe red belts here and there. The machines, I don't know. I colored the machines purple because the lights in there are purple, but they don't do anything. They don't really make the machines purple, so I just painted them purple. It's kind of an illusion that the purple light is hitting the machines, but it's just, I just painted them purple. There's not much color on the blenders anyway. I guess you can sort of see that, but the thing about the lighting in Satisfactory is, like, for example here, you can barely see there's any purple light because you're looking at it parallel with the light, but as soon as you turn, you'll see more of it. And it's the same thing here. Originally I had these lights running parallel, and you couldn't see any purple light in the ceiling, but as soon as I turn them perpendicular, you can see the lights. So yeah, so that's good. That's done. I guess the next thing I have to think about is we've got this export, and I need to know where that's going to come in on the top floor. Nope, wrong way. Accidental hypertube. Bound to happen at some point. Should also delete most of this. Alright, so I think this is going to be the floor here. So it's the same as below. Same idea. There's our area there. So this was easy. This one is just straight into the wall. Right, okay. And then bring these up. And if I remember correctly, so we're going to drop this down, I think. The question is, if I drop this down, am I going to have enough room for the output for the pipe? So we'll technically just come back up the middle. I've got to find where this is going to be. Back here. Thanks, Meza. Appreciate that. Oh, that is not what we want. There we go. Hello, friend. Oh, that was the whole pipe. Whoops. So we'll have the outputs combined and go that direction. And this is going to have 600 in it. And each one of those is going to have 150, I think. Blenders. 25 fuel generators, 300 per line, 16 bays of 25 fuel generators. Yeah, so 16. So each one is a 300 line. So it only has to split the once. Right. So why are there 5? I don't know why there's 5 there. There should only be 4. Sure. So this is going to come up in here and split once. And then it's going to have to get to this layer here. Or we could have them come out the corners like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there has to be 16. No, that's right. That's 16. 3 on each side. That's 12. Plus 4. 1 in each corner. Right. Right. Can I reach? I want to be able to reach. Ah. Had it. Come on. All right, down we go. So much up and down in this. Oh, not that far. There's a wall. Can I reach? No, welcome to my world. Yeah, that's not something I say often. I normally can reach things. Right, so we'd want it to be at this level here. And that's the same level that things are being cut off. Let's just change this one. So we're going to have exports as well. Ah, it's higher. Good stuff. Good. So we could technically put this up here. And that can go to there. I mean, really doesn't matter. It depends on where we want to put the cap on this thing. But do that to there. And then we could just run the other lines. We'd have to do a little bit of jumping around. Can I get in here? Yoink. So let's just imagine for the fact that in addition to these 2 orange pipes, I also had 2 more. I mean, we could run it right down here. Question just is, how do we get it over here? I guess we just go under and over a couple times. Right, just bring this in here. And then we'll probably go probably, unfortunately, in between these. Get to here, go up and over. Not quite as clean as I would like. Well, if we start high, then we don't have to go up. We could just come here. Because some of these are going to be in the center. I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to recreate that top floor. See, now what I was thinking originally, you'll see that I've got 3 foundations here. I thought I was going to need that 3rd foundation. I don't know if I'm doing that anymore. I should fix this so that it actually goes to a platform. Have you done much with circles, Meza, in Satisfactory? Out of curiosity. Nice. This was my first time. This is a little one, and then there's a big one that goes around the outside. It's my first time. It went pretty quickly, actually. I was surprised. That's better. They're amazing when they're not overused. Yeah. Yeah. They're the meta. Yeah. So I needed something to kind of like, well, one, there was like that image that I showed you, but then I needed something to tie the bottom to the top, and the top is going to be very Spire-like. So I thought I find that the circle was actually easier to figure out than an octagon. The octagon wasn't playing nice with me. I wish they gave us walls that would go along the diagonal, that like a full length properly. I removed the hypertube to nowhere. It's now safely landing on a piece of foundation. Okay. So that's solid. So the real question is, I guess we'll have to remove this stuff. Drop the floor back down to here. Still keep the little extra floor bits. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's wrong. No, that was right. That's this is the walking floor down that way. I guess technically this could be 2-meter foundations, shouldn't it? Now what I don't remember is where these things were centered. So the middle of the blender is in the middle of this bit here. I think that's where it is. And then 1, 2, 3, and then its export is on, or import is on that side. The hypertube to somewhere? Top floor. Going up. Ah, that's the wrong spot. So we had at least 3 foundations. And then here's a smart idea, Joel. Just line it up with the one underneath it. And then the export, which one? So it would be the farthest right was lining up with the middle of this. Meza, one thing I wish they would add to the game, and anybody that's familiar with Satisfactory, I wish you could place a hologram of a building and then get far enough away from it before placing it. Like, I wish you could lock it in place. Like, I wish it was 2 clicks to place a building. I want 1 click to lock the hologram and the other click to confirm the hologram. That's what I want, right? That's 1 click from the side. And then I've got to line up this here. But see, I can't tell unless I go way up here. I think that's where I want it. So this should be lined up with that. And this should be lined up with that. And if I look below, we should have roughly identical. I'd say that looks pretty good. Like Manica for Satisfactory, I think they talked about adding that last. I think they... Yeah, they... Snoot mentioned something along those lines. Right, so that's not correct. And I don't remember how far we came out. Just past the middle. I should really add another hypertube over here. All right, we had to put this into like a short. To get it to look good, we had to kind of do that, I think. We used a wall, we used a glass wall before, but this should do the same thing. Then if we drop down below... Oh, autosave. Autosave! Come on. That was dramatic. That was meant to be this cool. Ta-da! So we have those, and we did... fuel... residue rather, and then water. So there should be enough room in the middle here to do what we need to do. Okay. I think I'm satisfied. I think I have the plan. So that's where I'm going to have to leave it. We're going to pass you on to whoever Meza mentioned earlier that's playing Satisfactory. Thanks ever so much for hanging out. Meza, thanks for the raid. Truly appreciate it. There is going to be a brand new episode of the Spawn Chunks out in like the next 20 minutes because I have to go post it. It's ready. It's edited. I just have to go and post it. And then, of course, there's going to be another episode of the Spawn Chunks later. Not the Spawn Chunks. The Citadel Cafe later this week with Johnny and I talking about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Should be very, very cool. I'm looking forward to it. He's a big fan. I am as well. You can, of course, follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram. Don't miss Friday, Lego Optimus Prime. These are so fun. I can't stress enough how much fun we have on those Lego streams. Just kind of chilling and putting together some really cool Lego. And I'm going to be doing some more Satisfactory streams this week, along with maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely, I'm hoping to do tomorrow, maybe Thursday. It just depends on how my adulting goes this week. But I will see you all next time, depending on when that happens to be. Thanks ever so much for the follows. Thanks for the resubscriptions and support. McScrewgunn, did I get you? I think that was yesterday. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye for now.